Imagine it's midnight and you suddenly start craving fried chicken. Which restaurant are you gonna call first? KFC, right? No doubt about it. There are hundreds of choices available when it comes to finding mouth-watering fried chicken, but none of them satisfies the taste buds quite like KFC do. No wonder Colonel Sanders was so secretive about his recipes. There are upwards of 25,000 branches of KFC in more than 140 countries throughout the world. But even with so much of the world's population being completely hooked on the brand, people seemingly know little about it. In this video, we're gonna show you 10 crazy facts about KFC that you probably didn't know. We're OnlyBrands, the channel dedicated to bringing you awesome regular content on the world's hottest brands. Let's do this. Number 1. Colonel Sanders wasn't associated with the military. Colonel Sanders, the iconic face of KFC, was not a real colonel. Many often assume that the colonel obtained his title from serving in the military, but that's not actually true. Sanders was awarded the title of honorary colonel in 1937 by Ruby LaFoon, the 43rd governor of Kentucky. Honorary colonel is a ceremonial rank, which means it can be granted to any civilian for their achievements. In Sanders' case, this rank was given to Sanders due to his outstanding entrepreneurial skills. Sanders owned a gas station in Corbin, Kentucky, where he offered food to truck drivers and travelers, which is exactly where he first started selling his soon-to-be renowned chicken. Noticing the increasing popularity of his food, Sanders opened a restaurant right there, which was then called Sanders Court and Cafe. Surprisingly, this restaurant is still operational as a KFC to this day and has a little museum area dedicated to its founder. Oh, and another fun fact, during the gas station days, Colonel Sanders initially started off only serving steak and sandwiches as he thought making fried chicken would be too time consuming. Kentucky's steak sandwiches doesn't quite have the same ring to it though, does it? Number 2. The credit for creating KFC doesn't only belong to the Colonel. Yep, you heard it right. Sanders was not the only one behind KFC's success. Dave Thomas, the name behind Wendy's, was the guy responsible for increasing KFC's profile. Thomas used to work very closely with Sanders in the beginning, pushing him to appear in interviews as well as creating more brand recognition and better business deals. However, the idea of creating a red and white color scheme for the brand and offering value buckets was first given by Dave Thomas himself. Sanders had complete trust in Thomas as he used to send him to personally work in the various KFC franchises at the time. Later on, when Thomas got bored of the bland burgers available in his city, he decided to create his own burger joint that could sell the burgers that could finally satisfy his taste buds. Wendy's. Number 3. KFC's coveted recipe is guarded by Robocop. The famous 11 herbs and spices recipe of KFC has been in protection since the 1940s. Several well-known chefs have made numerous attempts to replicate it, but no one is yet to come close. It's kept so secret that the original piece of paper containing the handwritten recipe by Sanders himself has been locked in a vault since 2001. KFC are so eager to protect these elusive instructions, they even hired Robocop to help guard it. Seriously, in this era, only a handful of KFC employees know the real ingredients of the fried chicken, and they're sworn to secrecy via a confidentiality contract with the company prior to obtaining it. And as if things couldn't get even more shady, the company that makes the blend of KFC's spices receives the mix from 2 different companies, both of whom only have half of the secret recipe each. What's more, the CEOs of these companies are restricted from ever meeting or traveling together. Weird, isn't it? Oh, by the way, a lot of hard work and care goes into these videos, so if you guys could help us out and click that subscribe button, we would greatly appreciate it. Number 4. Colonel Sanders did not come up with the name KFC. It was, in fact, American businessman Pete Harmon who created the name. Harmon first met Sanders in 1951 during a restaurant convention in Chicago, during which they instantly hit it off and decided to meet again. Fast forward to 1952, Sanders was traveling to Australia for an event when he decided to pay a visit to his new friend on the way, who cordially invited the Colonel to dinner. However, the night took a bit of a twist when Sanders offered to instead cook for Harmon and his family. Of course, he cooked them his signature fried chicken, instantly winning the family over thanks to the unique 11 spices blend and amazing taste. Harmon owned a restaurant named Harmon's Cafe, subsequently decided to add Sanders chicken to his menu under the name Kentucky Fried Chicken, in homage to the Colonel's home. Sanders loved the name so much, it stuck with him for the rest of his life. Number 5. KFC is scientifically formulated to be addictive. You must have wondered what it is exactly that keeps you coming back for more of KFC's chicken again and again. You know, it's something, but you just can't pinpoint it. This is because, in short, KFC's formula is purposefully designed to be addictive. When you're chowing down on their chicken, you're tasting savory, spicy, salty, sweet, and umami all at once. Even though KFC put it all down to their secret recipe, the real key, according to neurologists, is the fact that your mouth gets a burst of all the flavors you most desire in one single hit. Jennifer Farley, a culinary art student, claimed that, quote, "A food that is balanced amongst all the flavors is indeed the most delicious," which is exactly the case with KFC. Number 6. KFC's chicken isn't cooked how you'd think. Whenever you think of fried chicken, instantly imagine a piece of crispy chicken emerging from bubbling hot oil. But that's not how it's done at KFC. The secret behind the crispiness at KFC is the pressure that's used on the chicken while frying. Initially, the Colonel didn't like the idea of using oil in a pressure cooker due to the risks involved. But thankfully, in the 1950s, pressure fryers were introduced, which made it much easier for him to cook his world-class chicken. KFC also claims that they're the pioneers of pressure frying in this manner. Number 7. KFC's favorite number is 7. Many reporters who've gotten to access one of KFC's kitchens have been bemused by their obsession with the number 7. Before cooking, the chicken is dipped into brine and tossed 7 times, and then it's dropped into breadcrumbs and coated in a breadstroke motion 7 times. After that, the coated chicken is then placed into a basket and swung 7 times before being added to the pressure fryer, where it's then cooked. Without this almost superstitious 777 drill, the chicken wouldn't taste the way it does. That was an especially juicy fact, right? I think that one definitely deserves a thumbs up. Number 8. There are multiple KFC stores run by deaf people. If you're already not impressed by the fast food giant, then this little fact might change that. KFC have shown outstanding support to hearing impaired people by opening several stores throughout the world that are completely run by deaf people. This was a great deed, as impaired people in places like India, Egypt, and Pakistan don't have many opportunities to live a good life. Number 9. Japanese people eat KFC for Christmas. Fast food and fried chicken might seem like a predominantly American thing, but you'd be astounded to know how popular it is in China and Japan. Japan initially didn't have any specific traditions regarding Christmas Eve. However, heavy marketing across the country has made eating KFC together on Christmas a surprising breakthrough success in the country. The concept has gotten so popular that it's since become a widely accepted ritual that everyone in Japan now pre-orders their KFC meals to have ready for Christmas. So much so, in fact, that 1/3 of KFC's revenue in Japan comes from the Christmas bundles they sell in December. Number 10. You can date Colonel Sanders. Many companies adopt different ways to market their product, but no one does it the way that KFC does. In 2019, a crazy game developer company named Psyop recently created a dating game called I Love You, Colonel Sanders. Described as a, quote, finger-licking good dating simulator, this game features a handsome anime version of the Colonel, whose heart you have to try and win over. It's been surprisingly well received, largely due to its massive novelty factor, and currently holds a very positive aggregate review score on Steam. Thanks so much for sticking around until the end of the video. We hope you enjoyed it, but why stop now? Click this video right here for more awesome content.